This is more of like a hippie saying or whatever, but it's like the humans are just like the universe's way to like look at it.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's the way I really, because it's true.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
our cognizance of the universe as we know it, like we are from the universe.
Yeah,
we are the
like
universe.
we are the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something. We're here.
We're back.
We've done it. We've done it after what, three months?
It's been a
Yeah.
while.
It's been
a long ass time.
We were learning how cameras work. We actually don't know how cameras work.
Personally, I invested in a camera company. They do not notice it's about $40,000 worth of cameras that I stole. They didn't notice that.
and the entire building. That
The
we're
entire
at?
building.
The
Yeah.
building too.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
like-
picked it up.
Have you seen the Despicables, Holden?
Or
not-
where they shrunk the
where they
moon.
shrunk the moon.
They shrunk
Yeah,
the
yeah,
moon.
yeah.
Despicable Me.
Yeah, we stole a studio. We stole camera equipment. We shrunk it down, and it's actually in the same room that we
Used to record it.
we used to record it.
We're just like tiny right now. We're really
just
tiny.
put it there, yeah.
But the power of perspective and camera work, I mean, we learned a lot about cameras, so
we're just hypnotizing people with this thing back here.
stare
We're actually
right
gonna
into
go
it.
into Matthew's colon after this, a la Magic School Bus.
I was literally just about to say like the Magic School Bus.
And speaking of Matthew, we have a voice of God, which may or may not happen to be Matthew some of these times. So
I don't think it is Matthew. I'm on the opinion that Matthew died about 4 months ago, and this is an imposter sent by Joe Biden, much like the robots.
just like can you confirm nor deny these allegations, Matthew?
I could be whatever I goddamn want to be.
I heard. I don't think that was an appropriate response. I didn't like that.
You didn't like that?
I didn't like
You're
that.
the one calling him a robot.
Well,
just like you freaking... We're watching Phil DeFranco. You brought it up right now, so it's getting brought
That's
up.
valid.
You think that there's, what, a 10% chance
I
that
wouldn't
Biden
say a
is a
10%.
robot?
I wouldn't say a 10%. I would call it
Higher
a
or
non-zero chance.
I mean,
I'm not going to give it a
that's
percentage.
very vague.
Yeah.
Below
But you
10%?
think... So, what? Yeah, give me the
Give us a
percentage you
range.
think.
I don't want to. I mean, that's
Because I would say, like, 0.0001.
I'll
Like,
call
I
it like
think
a
it's
1%
so very
chance.
little. I think that's still too high.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm gonna call it
1%?
a 0% chance because
Yeah.
making robots is really fucking hard.
Yeah.
But hear me out. Have we
Okay.
not been working with AI for a long time? Yes or no? It's been undergo
kind of.
for a while.
Just
We've been
now
working
is
with
kind of getting
machine
popular.
learning.
no, it
for
just
a
not hit.
while.
It just now hit the masses. It just like we are now getting apps
But
that
AI
have
is
AI.
That's not
different
how
than a
AI's
robot.
development path has worked out.
It's-
It's not
I've
like a
been hearing-
military thing that then
No.
got given to.
They've been
people.
working on it for a while.
No, like
do you
it's
mean, no?
So machine learning is what do you call it? It developed from a process by which you would basically get a large amount of data about how a process worked, and then basically like do linear regressions to get
Right.
Uh,
I'm gonna put the NSA into the evidence category. They've been collecting data on human beings.
But
for,
how does
That's
that? How
not
do
the
you
type
jump
of
to the
data that I'm
conclusion that
talking
turns
about.
into a Biden
why?
robot?
How is that not the data that you're talking about? 'Cause
So
it's
the
human
data that I'm
mannerisms.
talking about is the data that NSA is collecting is stuff like metadata, where people are, and who they're talking to. It's not the billions of tiny micro actions that you do when you're talking. It probably isn't billions, but a shit ton.
I think
Yeah.
they do that for specific targets. If they're like tracking someone, they're gonna monitor the fuck out of them. They're gonna like.
But even if
oh,
you
his
had
face
like
is-
a 20 years worth,
they got
data
20
set-
years. They got 20
Yeah,
years.
but
Yeah,
Even
but
if you
even
have
if you
that-
had that, even if you had a whole lifetime,
that
with
doesn't turn
that,
into a robot.
But it's
Yeah.
not just the NSA that's been working on it, or like just intelligence gathering in general. Intelligence
multiple
gathering.
three-letter agencies working on something doesn't make the impossible possible.
I don't know. I'm just saying that I'd call it a 1% chance. I mean,
Bro,
we
I-
got AI. We have.
I am literally taking a course on how AIs work, and I can
Right.
tell you that's not it.
I think they're misinforming you. I mean, we know that the education system
because
is crap.
Red is
Yeah.
more educated on the aspects
yeah,
of
how AI
I do
is
browse
work.
Reddit
Then,
quite frequently.
you
Okay,
know, the
r slash
conspiracy
conspiracy. Yeah,
subreddit,
r slash conspiracy
Jesus.
has a lot of goodness in there.
Man, well, we jumped the gun a little bit, but obviously this is season 4 here.
Welcome back.
Season 4
We're gonna
is
take a 4-month break after this.
And
We,
then after
uh,
that 4-month break, we'll have season 5, and
Yeah.
you know
And
a
we'll take a
5-month
5-month break.
break.
See, this is like normally we use anytime we have a big break, we use that as a time to or we're just like say, oh, it's a new season, whatever, right? I mean, this is like we got Matthew back as voice of God. We got like multiple cameras, more than one.
It's funny that you mentioned that. My mom I had a conversation with her today. I went to go see her, and she was asking that because I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna, start season 4. We, and she's like, how do you determine, the seasons?" And I was like, well, I mean, I kind of use like the Family Guy model. We had Halloween and then Thanksgiving and then Christmas and then new season. Boom.
New season, yeah, yeah. I mean, plus
The Family Guy model is pretty solid in my opinion.
Yeah, the Family Guy model is almost as old as the Earth.
I was gonna say the NSA, but
I think didn't the NSA exist before Family Guy? When were
no,
they?
No. Family Guy. Family Guy was definitely before. I think the NSA started like after like 9/11. To be honest with you, like right afterwards.
Damn, really?
Yeah, they were like after 9/11. They because that's when the Patriot
God.
Act came out.
Can you
Yeah, Matthew, look up the.
Who's Matthew? I just know a burning bush occasionally pops up in the corner over there and speaks in a booming voice that sounds like Matthew.
Right, but I decided to call the burning bush Matthew for
Okay, yeah.
namesake. Like, what else are we gonna call the burning bush? Burning bush.
Yeah, good point.
Do we just call it burning bush now?
Bernie.
Bernie.
Bernie's
Bernie
still a
Bush.
producer.
That way, Bernie can still be our producer.
We should
First name
probably
Bernie, last
explain
name Bush.
To our heartbroken fans,
Ryan,
why
you're-
Bernie.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong.
It was founded in the 50s.
What, the NSA?
50s? Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds about right.
The 50s.
Was it really?
And so, so Family Guy was probably what, 90s or
Yeah, Family Guy must have been like 90s, early
Something
90s.
like
They
that.
had color TV when Family Guy came out, so it's probably after the 50s.
we have real time fact checking now.
Dude, I'm so curious about like how, because like
so
I
we
know
can call you out on your bullshit. You of all people.
just spreading this information to the masses. Don't mind me. Dude,
the Doritos Locos Tacos from
they're older.
Taco
Yeah,
Bell.
they're older than the
Older than the
Confederacy.
Confederacy lasted.
And I agree with all the sentiments that we should give them their own flag.
I mean, yeah, if people are still like trying to be like, damn, it was part of history.
I would argue too that the Doritos Locos Tacos have more support than the Confederacy as well.
And
I would
more of a
support Doritos
significant-
Locos Tacos.
What's the DLT? Yeah,
Doritos
DLT?
Locos Tacos, yeah.
DLT.
DLT. If I have to have a taco from Taco Bell, it would be a Doritos. Locos
I don't think
Tacos.
I've known you for close to 15 years now, and I don't think I've ever seen you once eat Taco Bell. in
I think
living
I've told
memory.
this story before on the podcast, but the one day when I was working at the movie theater, right, all day seeing ads for the $5 Taco Bell
Don't you
box,
dare diss
right?
the boxes.
And oh my god, dude, I was so hungry, I was so ready
over
because there's a
this. These
Taco
are fighting
Bell
words.
These
on
are.
the way home, and holy shit, I got it, and I have never been more disappointed in my entire fucking life.
You just
All
need to
of it was
lower your
nasty.
standards, man. For
All of it.
$5,
All of it.
you all okay?
All of it. Every single thing. The drink
since
was
we have
mid.
talked about this, I know why you don't like it. It's because you don't like ground beef,
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of ground beef.
which is also
Yeah,
the
ground
wrong
beef.
I like
opinion.
burgers though.
But also, they don't really put ground beef in those. They put fucking
And
taco
I don't like
slurs.
beef.
You're gonna say horse.
There's probably some horse in there.
I-
Shit's mystery meat.
I genuinely
There
don't
was
want
some
to
like
know.
controversy, and I thought they like proved that.
I thought it was Jack in the Box that had the controversy.
I don't know. I just kind of resting assume that if you can sell tacos for that cheap, like
No.
There's
There's
gotta be a catch
I
going
just
on.
watched this dude. It was like a Vice video of this dude in Harlem. He's been selling $2 burgers for like fucking 25, 30 years now, and he put his 2 kids through college selling $2 burgers. $2
Goddamn.
burgers.
and it's just like a family restaurant.
It's just like
or-
a food. No, it's not even a restaurant. It's a like a food vendor thing, like the truck.
truck?
Like no, not the truck. The like the stands, like a hot dog stand.
Oh.
But he like has like a whole grill.
How the fuck you putting your kids to college?
I
I mean, I
mean,
guess. Wait, you
if
said
you
hot
get,
dogs.
like-
He
or
said he
burgers?
does like he sells about 600 to 500.
Yeah.
I think it was like probably. I think he said like because he also has like the $2 burgers, the $4 burgers, and then a hot dog thing.
He's then
I
got
wonder
a
where he's
$100
getting
burger.
all his like ingredients from. He has to have some like special hookup to get stuff.
Yeah,
that cheap.
wholesale. I mean, just in general,
Yeah, I don't
right?
think it's like yeah.
He's
mean, he
got
obviously
like
gotta be
his
licensed.
dealer, his hot dog
His meat
dealer,
dealer.
his meat dealer.
He
I like
rolls up
that
in a
better.
trench coat full of hot dogs, and he's like, "What you want? You want bar S or some Yankee Doodles?"
Yankee Doodles.
Hey, you've never heard of that hot dog bird?
No,
I'm gaslighting you. It's not a thing.
you fucking liar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's me.
we've had to, in Matthew's presence, the last couple of episodes, we've definitely had to, bump up the gaslighting on our own to make
to
up
make up for it because we're used to a certain like threshold of gaslighting, and
Yeah.
if that threshold is not met supernatural things start to happen.
It's like a balance of power between gaslighting, gatekeeping, and girl bossing. And without Matthew here, the gaslighting levels dropped down dangerously low, and we had to pump them back up.
That was what
the
that
new
was one of
culture
our
war.
old group chat, Snapchat group chat.
Was it?
Names was girl boss, gatekeep,
Gaslight?
or gaslight.
Some
Gatekeep, girl
combination of
boss.
those.
Yeah, something like that. But speaking of like how old things are, and how Taco Bell's better than the Confederacy.
Well, the Yankees are older than the Confederacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else is older than Confederacy? I can barely say that word right now.
Probably almost anything.
Yeah.
Matthew, how
It was
long
really
did the Confederacy last? How many years do you know? Or
Here, let's all take a
Civil
guess. Right,
War.
I'm thinking like 32.
What? The Confederacy? Like 4 years.
Yeah.
Really?
it was 4?
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
like about 4.
I'm so hot.
The same
I'm
length of
wrong.
the Civil War.
32? How long did you think the Civil War went on for?
I'm
Well, we live in Texas, so the way fucking people here act
Yeah.
about the Confederacy, you would
I
think
would
it would
thought-
be
yeah.
like 100 years of fucking.
Dude, we still have the flags for it.
Yeah.
I went to high school. Well, no. I mean, 4 years.
I mean, just like
I remember seeing some trucks with Confederate flags on them.
Oh, yeah.
Right
I
around
was
when
thinking,
Trump
like,
won, and
that was the worst.
yeah,
man.
there's always
was the
like a
worst.
Confederate flag. Not always, but at least when we're like road tripping to other places and we're getting out of Texas and we get to the way more rural parts of Texas.
Dude, yeah.
half the houses Confederate flag
and a
Trump
cross.
flag.
Well, and a cross
right
too.
next
Do you
to each
remember
other.
when we
And
went
a
to
cross,
Colorado and we
yeah.
were counting the crosses on the road there? That was honestly freaky. Like the whole idea of religion to me is just brainwashing in a sense. Like it's like teaching this dogma that like is the way, quote unquote, and your followers have to follow that to have a fulfilled whatever life, marriage, death, whatever. And it's brainwashing to me. But when you think about it, like it's been like religion's been around for so long, and I think it's because like our powers of like charisma, like I don't know, like humans like speaking to someone and convincing them of something, that must have been a thing for a long time for
Yeah,
religion to
but
be a thing.
There's like also just a need and a want for people to like think that there's a meaning and to
Right, it's
like
a
feel
combination.
safe and secure. So like I think they're like I think religion is fine up until the point that like you start using it to like to start like shitting on other people or to start like
But like a counterpoint, like devil's advocate
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
a lot of organized religions just eventually reach that point, or their goal is to grow to the point where they can all of a sudden start making it hard to not be a part of their group.
Like mega Baptist church in a rural town that like just grow, and now they like are the only church that's around because everyone goes there.
yeah, or shit.
It's like a
all of
fucking
Europe
virus.
throughout the Middle Ages, that church got power, and it was very difficult to not be a Christian in Europe at the time.
Yeah.
Or like the fucking Protestants in colonial America. Like
Well, yeah,
you can
'cause-
see a ton of shit like that, and it's not just Christian groups. That's just
Yeah.
the history I was taught growing up. So they're the first example.
But also like the whole like the Inquisition and stuff like that. Like that was a whole like Christianity in general has always had this like need to what's the word evangelize. Like
yeah.
spread the
Evangelism.
Spread the word.
Yeah, because like if
evangelism,
you
yeah.
truly think that like your best friend or your family is going to burn in
Yeah.
hell for all of eternity,
that pressure,
I can
yeah.
understand. But like that's the
you know,
thing. It's
that-
like
it's fucked up to tell a kid like, hey, you got to follow this rule set or you're going to go to hell.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you break out of the rule set, like
You're also
you
going
know,
to
all
hell.
of your family who were just devoutly into it, they were all doing that for nothing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it makes it a lot harder to walk away from it. And I don't think it should be something that is difficult to walk away from. Like you should want to be there affirmatively because of the good things
Yeah.
that religion is
Yeah.
doing for you, not because you're worried you're going to be sent to torture prison because you didn't pick the right God.
See, the reason I believed it growing up was just because it was what I was shown. It's what we
Well,
did,
yeah,
you know?
that's like
Yeah,
how,
that was the
how it
truth we
is.
were-
I think
we were
you know
taught.
we all
I think that's interesting too, because
experience
if I think the ratio of people finding religion grow like after they're grown up and they didn't have it as a kid, like I think that ratio of person finding religion is really small to find like your religion like when you're 30 or something like that. So it's interesting. I think the correlation between like childhood and like what your parents teach you and what
Yeah.
you know like it's how humans are.
yeah,
It's like
because
human
I mean,
nature.
like if you're a parent, and you believe something, I don't think it's even wrong to like indoctrinate your kid, like up to a certain extent, right? Because if you truly believe, now it gets to a different point when you're using that religion to spread hate or, discriminate against other people.
Do you think there should be like an age thing or something? Because so I'll give you a reference. Because like Catholicism, there's a sacrament, like there's all like a bunch of like important sacraments that you do, and one of them is called confirmation, and it's basically like your like confirming your step into the church, right? So it's like you're no longer a kid. You are choosing this for your life, and you are forever, like you have baptism when you're born or, later on. Yeah. So like, but that one always felt strange to me because I was like maybe like 13 and I was like, man, I don't, like I have to kind of say yes here. Like my parents are forcing me. So it's like now even the fact that I've been away from religion for a long time, I still kind of feel like I was like, like put, on the path, because of that act.
But once you left, all of that means nothing. Right.
True.
So like, it's not like there's a permanent, I think parents should like, ask.
Sorry.
I don't know. No, I mean, that was it. Yeah.
I didn't know you were raised Catholic flavored Christian.
Very much Catholic flavored Christian. Like, yeah, that shit was not tasty. It was not like pineapple on pizza. It tasted bad.
Dude, pineapple on pizza is so good.
Everyone in this room. Matthew, do you like pineapple? I mean, sorry, Bernie, do you like pineapple on pizza?
I just don't like pineapple.
Oh, we got a hater.
We do got a hater.
It's disgusting.
Pineapple is the best fruit. I think it's one of my favorite fruits.
Yeah,
in
makes
general.
your cum taste really good too.
That it does.
That's one of the first facts I think of whenever I
think of a fruit,
about
like pineapple. Or what's another one? Like, doesn't orange do the same thing?
Does it?
Well,
Holden,
I
would
do
know.
think like citrusy things a little bit, but I think pineapple in particular has like an enzyme called bromelain. That
bromelain.
That does that, and also things that make it taste worse is if you smoke cigarettes, if you drink alcohol,
Really?
if you eat a lot of garlic and a lot of salty and
I feel like
fried
garlic would
foods.
make your cum taste good though.
No.
Taste like Olive Garden.
No, it's not
Garlic.
a one-to-one translation. I eat garlic, so my cum tastes like garlic. It's not a one-to-one.
Dude, imagine if that's how it was though. Like humans, like if we eat like an apple or something, our cum is just apple flavored.
Restaurants would be a lot more kinky because there would
dude,
be people
there's
whose
some,
whole goal who go in there is to get a certain flavor.
Yeah,
like
of
when they
for their
leave.
cum. That would make date night wild.
Man, how the fuck did we get on this topic?
We were supposed to talk about old things.
It makes samplers
No.
give it a different meaning.
Oh, like at Costco or
Oh,
whatever.
dude, like a fruit tray. Like imagine like you got grapes and strawberries and pineapple, and now you got like a fruit smoothie cum.
See, but the problem is
Why
you're
do we
eating-
always end up
you're-
talking
you're
about
eating-
cum?
This one was on you, my
Was it
buddy,
really?
my buddy friend.
Oh man, no. Who mentioned? Oh, I mentioned
I
pineapple
mentioned
too. Fuck.
it, but like,
Oh,
I don't
did
know.
you s-
I didn't give the energy for this full conversation.
No,
Yeah.
when we started talking about pineapple, which unfortunately I mentioned, this was
Okay,
the first
so
thing.
let's
All
let's
right.
let's navigate
Segue.
this.
Bring it on. Talk about old stuff. What's old?
Bananas used to be bananas are really old, but there used to be a lot of different types of bananas. Now
Oh
there's
yeah,
not.
the ones we have now are just like GMO'd up, right?
Yeah.
They're like a monoculture.
Which I don't have any problems with GMOs.
I don't think they're good
especially-
for you. Like
No,
I think
GMO
like I think they're really like good for like obviously like sustaining the population, but like genetically modifying like something and then ingesting it, I think will have consequences.
We have been making GMOs since the beginning of
know.
human history.
I
No
know.
food would be like edible.
I know.
If we didn't GMO
I know.
the shit out of it.
I know. But
You would
I don't
have like
think it's-
this much like fruit and this much shell if we
but
didn't
what
GMO
if,
it.
What if, like over time our bodies just like grew to be like okay with that? We didn't
would
need to eat
need,
as much
like,
because there wasn't as much food.
A ridiculous
think so.
time scale in order to make that okay. We probably
Well,
wouldn't have gotten
speaking
big
of
brained and made
timescale,
tools.
I think that there was like I really think that there was like other ancient civilizations like way before like what
that's
we know
why
of.
we start. Okay, yeah, we had the idea of what we wanted to talk about, and it was all because of
Because of this.
yeah.
I
So
watched-
tell the people what you told me.
I don't remember what I told you. I ate one of those like gummies from the gas station and it really fucked me up. So bear with me. But like essentially I was watching this Vice thing on Snapchat and it was about they interviewed this dude who like did a lot of research on like ancient civilizations and tried to find evidence that proved it. One of the big ones I thought was interesting was like there's this map of Antarctica. It's like a bird's eye view, but it's like Antarctica with like flowing water and trees and all sorts of stuff. So it's like, how the fuck did they get a bird's eye view of Antarctica that's like still to this day accurate as fuck? If like when it was, like not defrosted.
You sure it wasn't just like a simulated? This is what it looks like.
They've written books. They've written books about because it's like an old map that they found that they've now like cartographed.
So it was a drawing.
Yeah.
So it was like it matches up 1-to-1, no doubt.
I haven't done that research. I don't know if it
Antarctica is
matches up
like-
specifically, but that's what the dude said. He said that it like is very accurate on mountain ridges and like the coves, like bays.
I guess the reason I doubt that is because, well, I guess they're saying it wasn't cold at the time, but like,
And that
would
would've been-
probably still be really cold.
But Pangea was a thing.
And like, it was really hard for even modern explorers to make it there.
Pangea was a thing though. So like when the Earth was like literally all
I
the
don't
land
think
was
humans
together.
were around when Pangea was a thing.
So that's what this dude thinks. This dude thinks that when the dinosaurs were you think before the dinosaurs?
you
I think
Museum of
humans have been around
Creation
for a
shit?
long, long time, and
Like-
like we've had civilizations that have technology way before like our understanding that has just like been wiped out by like I don't know, like the
But there
moon
would
coming
be,
into
like,
orbit and pulling
fossil
tides.
records of those things.
Not if like the Bible talks about like the flood. That's one thing I think is interesting because the flood is like a common thing throughout old religion. Is like there's stories of this flood that came and just tore up everything. So like when the moon came into our orbit, right, and has control over the tides. I don't know. Like for all we know, things were whack back then, and the moon coming in like could have fucking flooded the Earth.
I mean, its gravitational effect on water wouldn't have been that different unless there was like a massive change to its orbit. And at that point, like short of a big ass rock that would probably like fuck up the moon significantly, you wouldn't get something to change the orbit.
moon is
so like
fucked
the
up
gravitational
significantly.
force on water would probably have been about the same.
I don't know when we get into specifics. It's just general theory, but
Well, yeah,
I
no,
don't know.
that's the thing. It falls apart under any like.
It doesn't fall
scrutinous
apart. I just simply
examination.
don't know, and I don't think like you have the specifics either. To be
Yeah,
honest,
it's
I
not
have
like-
the specifics to be pretty sure.
No, I would just. I don't think.
I mean,
either.
it's like
I don't think
either
anyone.
way you're taking a leap of faith, but one of these leaps of faith, you have like a methodology and a
See-
reason for thinking it, and the other leap of faith, you have.
Okay,
I don't know.
this is-
It
no,
could.
no, no.
It could happen.
No, this
It
is
could
one of my
happen.
favorite like ways to think, right? Because if and this is gonna sound really depressing and nihilistic, but at the end of when we die, like ultimately our actions and shit don't matter on a large scale, right? So that, and I've said this before, and you guys vehemently disagree with me, but I think that gives us power to believe in what we want because it ultimately doesn't matter. So I can believe in magic and fucking old, civilizations and shit and be completely wrong, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter if you were right and I was wrong.
Well, when it's harmless stuff like talking about aliens, it's fine. But the problem starts getting when we start getting into some of the debates and conspiracy theories that we have gotten in debates about. Specifically, I don't want to talk about in risk of this whole video getting shut down, but some of the conspiracy theories that I feel like that also then leads you into with that same
they lead you
thinking.
into interesting trains of thought because you're considering things that like aren't usually considered.
So-
but the power, like it doesn't matter if it's dangerous. Like I just don't act on them anymore, and I don't firmly believe any of that
Well,
shit. It's just trains of thought.
You made certain actions about things with COVID or vaccines or stuff like that.
No. And COVID,
You
COVID
made
specifically, I
actions-
stayed to myself. I did what I was like. No. I had my beliefs and shit, and like I just didn't like. I didn't go out there and protest him or anything. I was unsure. I stayed home and I did what I wanted. I was scared, so like I didn't. I kind of believed. I think there was some sketchy shit going on, but I didn't act on it because I didn't have like firm proof.
Well, but
And you
like
still don't have proof because there is no proof because it's just a vaccine.
Well, there's tangents I could go off on here. but I
yeah,
don't
we're
think
we're
they're-
not going to give
We
you
not
can
gonna
talk
go
about
whole
wacky,
rabbit hole.
funny
Yeah.
ones, not.
but that
what do
so
you call
that
it?
but just
Angry
going into
ones.
like so I understand the like conspiracy they're just fun to like think about that type of stuff, and I'm not acting on it, but you are though
How?
with your actions.
How? Do I go
Like-
around like preaching it or
Well, like
I mean, you're
just
on a podcast
specifically
right now talking about
I'm
it.
talking talking about a train of thought is different.
But,
Than,
like-
than being like, yeah, this is. I believe that there were, like ancient aliens that came down and like, made it with like all that shit. Like it'd be different if I said I believe that. I think you guys are missing the key point that it's a possibility. It's
I mean,
like
there's
it's
also a
like infinite
possibility.
possibilities.
Yeah, sure, but that doesn't make one insane possibility like more plausible than the other.
I'm not saying it does.
because you gotta like I know one thing we always talk about is the theory or whatever, the Occam's razor, where like if you don't know the answer, you should just assume that whatever is more likely to be the answer is the answer. And I feel like sometimes it feels like you do the opposite. Like you're like, well,
you
man, that's sketchy.
yeah.
it could be this, and this.
Because I don't know. It's like, in
And
my
you're, like,
opinion, that's
asking
critically,
questions,
that's
which is
exactly
fair.
asking questions and
But-
like being like, because I don't trust whatever CNN and Fox tell me, I don't believe a fucking word of that. They're giving me
I mean,
like
that's
some
smart.
sort of fucking
Cable
like,
news is fucked.
But that like I take that and like kind of apply it to like everything I see on the internet. I'm like, I don't know about that one. Let me look into what other people say.
Yeah.
You know,
But
and,
I
like
mean,
finding different. I
why
think
are
you guys
those
are
other people
misinterpreting
telling the
this, and I think
truth?
you always misinterpret this because it's like imagine like. I don't know, like imagine like the brain is like a simulator and you can just like plug in and think about this specific like line of time that, you know, brings you to this moment, or you can look at it this way. And that's the magic of perspective, in my opinion.
I mean, I don't know. Like, if we're trapped in the simulation, like, we have no way to know that. And I think it's best to just act within the life that you're within, right? Like, you have no way of ever proving that. You have
Right,
no
that's
way of
part of
ever
being
knowing
grounded.
that.
Yeah, that's part of
So,
being grounded.
Yeah.
So like you can be grounded and have your mind free at the same time.
What is? But when you
what's
say
having
things
your
like
mind
have
free?
your
When
mind
you say
free-
stuff like having your mind free, it implies that if you don't think these super improbable things
No.
happened, you're locked up.
I think you guys are just like you think about it too logically. Like there's no abstract thought there. Like it's not like I'm like.
but
I'm
you're
not-
just saying these
you're
words.
just-
I'm talking about like different things that like it's an imagination thing. You know, like
Ryan,
what if?
did you just say you're thinking about things too logically?
Yeah, you got to think about them more abstract.
Okay, so okay, and
Abstract
For
doesn't mean-
different types of analysis, you need different types of ways of approaching it.
What
and
is-
in order to
I
come
don't
to the
care that I'm
correct
completely outnumbered
conclusion
here.
about a lot of things, you need to use rational analysis.
In certain like right in front of me, like when we're setting up, you know, like the studio or cleaning my room or like thinking about what I got to do for the day, you know, it's like, all right, I rationally like I'm like, all right, what do I need now? I have like, you know, my checklist. That's like a logical process, right? But when I'm thinking like at home and I'm thinking about the possibilities of the world, stuff completely out of my spectrum of knowledge and things that will forever be outside of my spectrum of knowledge and everyone's spectrum of knowledge too. Like there's no way I don't think anyone in this world can tell me what happened accurately 50,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago. We can have ideas, but
yeah,
no
there's
one
very
knows.
very educated guesses though.
on like things that existed, yes, like dinosaurs or
Yeah.
like ancient viruses or like like global warming, the way like you can make educated guesses, but you can't say you know like in that train of thought thinking like, okay, there were no humans there. There's like an abstract thought in itself that you use to just dismiss it. You know, you're
Wait,
like,
what's
you take
the
that,
abstract
you
thought
take
here?
that, sorry, yeah, let me rephrase that. You take that like next logical step. You're like, all right, there was a bunch of dinosaurs and they were really big and like humans are really small. And, you know, I'm assuming because we didn't find any evidence of humans being there, fossils or civilization remains or stuff like that, that it's not there.
So the dinosaur bones left fossils. Why did human bones not leave fossils? Because
Maybe
if there
it's-
was human civilization, there would have been dead people that were buried.
Right. But I'm like, our bodies decay over a long period of time.
Right, but the
and-
bones leave fossils, and the fossils can be carbon dated.
Right. But like, what if there was sort of meteorite fucking that wiped
Bones
out?
would
The
still
bones
be
would
there.
still be there.
If
There was
there
a
was a-
meteorite, and the dinosaurs were still there.
Right, but
Yeah.
not that many. Like what? Like that's what I'm saying.
there
There's
are some,
possibilities
though.
that we don't know. What if there was a flood?
So,
that
yeah, there
flooded
could be
everything.
There
alien-
wouldn't be a fossil record through line for everything else if there was some cataclysmic event that was so horrible it destroyed all the human fossils.
But what if that was before the cataclysmic event that happened to the Like I'm saying, you can ask what ifs to all of these and like.
But
kinda
we have
continue-
answers to all.
Yeah.
of your
Not
what ifs.
necessarily.
You
'Cause
just don't.
know.
You won't
No,
be
you're
accepting
just
those
like
answers.
Yeah, you're just saying
It's not
no.
that I'm not accepting. It's like I'm asking more.
Because like it sounds like for what you're saying could have happened, like I'm expecting there needed to have been like some aliens that pressed a button and just literally erased all
See,
like
that I think is
records.
that's a good abstract thought, but I don't think it's very like likely. It's not.
How do you think there's
you know?
no records?
Well, because
though?
when you think, because then you start asking about. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the aliens. You know, like I don't know. Maybe there are records and we just haven't found them yet, or the records that we have found are wrong and we simply haven't dated them right.
But once again, going back to Occam's razor,
Carbon dating, we are very, very certain. Like laws of physics tell us this should work certain about the time frame when stuff
Well, what
took
if we're
place
wrong?
with carbon dating. We are definitely not. Like, I don't know. You can say, yeah, sure, maybe some future physics will disprove this, but there is no reason to think that
There's physics that we don't know about black holes.
Yeah, what does that prove?
There's our, like our
That's
understanding
not
of physics
the
is not
physics that
absolute.
takes place. Yes, I agree with that. But also, the physics we don't understand is like moving at the speed of light or inside a massive object that pulls in all light. It's edge cases for reality that just aren't anywhere near the Earth or people or would have any effect on those things.
What if they were? Like, what
they
if at some
don't.
point in the Earth's existence they were? The Earth has been around for a really long time. I'm saying anything could have happened.
What, like the laws of physics changing?
Who the
But
fuck
that would
knows?
have
Because
changed
gravity would have been
universe
different. Maybe,
forming.
maybe our like ancestors, like see, these just get into what if tangents. Like I don't have
the
I
reason
don't have concrete proof
mean-
behind why I think these. I'm saying I'm kind of explaining my viewpoint.
Yeah.
They're like possibilities. It's not like I believe this shit, and it's not like I don't disbelieve the like science and stuff. Like I think science, there's a lot of testing. Like we have pretty good answers, and I'm not like I'm kind of arguing for the argument point, but like it's just like what if we're wrong,
We definitely aren't, unless the
well, and,
laws
like-
of physics just changed, like at one point.
I don't know. What
which
if there's,
would fit in
mean,
your what if.
What
but
if?
That's
like,
the thing
it's
about
like
like people
what is the
calling
purpose
doubt
of
on
that?
shit like carbon dating. Like they'll take that you can't get an exact date and time and just say that it's useless when
I'm not saying it's
having
useless.
a 1,000-year range for how old something could be when you're dealing on the time scales of like hundreds of thousands or millions of years
Yeah.
is really, really useful.
Well, don't a lot of like organized Christian religions think that the Earth is only like 5 or 10,000 years
Oh,
old?
they're
This
so
is the
fucking wrong.
dumbest
Yeah,
shit.
no, that shit's dumb. The
Dude,
Earth is old.
All right, real quick side tangent about religion. One of my
Back to
most
religion.
formative memories about that. I went to a Baptist church
Mm-hmm.
and we had like a big youth group, and then after that we went to small youth
Uh-huh.
groups, and they had like this weird elective thing where you could learn different things about God or whatever. And I went
Oh.
to one about creationism, and
Uh-oh.
basically the thing that stuck with me, like they were using the same logic you were about shit like the Permian, or it's like the Permian explosion. It was basically an explosion of the different forms of life. And scientists don't necessarily have a certain reason why it
Like
happened.
Big Bang stuff? Are you talking about big?
No, it was like basically a lot of different species differentiated. Like
Okay.
At a certain
over,
point.
yeah, at a certain point.
But not in
and
the
they
form of
use
evolution.
the doubt of
No,
that
in the form of
to
evolution. Yeah, like the species, like they were like because it started with like one, and then like the
Well,
theory
that's
is
what
like
really happened. But he's talking about the Christians. What they
yeah,
were
well,
saying.
like the thing
that's
that
what-
they're referencing is real, but their interpretation of it is
Oh.
wrong.
because they don't have the exact answers that proves 100%
Mm-hmm.
why this could have happened. We're going to take it and run with it as they don't have an answer for why this happened, so our crazy
must be
shit is
God.
right.
yeah, therefore this
Like-
book
and that's
is the
wrong
answer.
The thing
because
that I
they think
remember
that they
that-
have the answer. The thing is,
I want to finish this.
Oh,
The
sorry,
thing
my bad.
that I remember from that was fucking at the end of the lecture that we got, or a lesson, whatever you want to call it. The person giving it said, "Okay, I would like everyone to raise their hands if they believe that God created the earth," and like, or wait, no, it's the other way around. Raise your hands if you think that evolution is real. And me and this one other girl raised our hands, and he went, "Yeah, you see, I really don't think you can be a real Christian if you think that."
oh my god,
No, for real, I was pissed.
Oh my
because I was
God.
Still pretty Christian at the
Yeah.
time, and I was like, "What the fuck? Excuse me, you can't
just
say that. You can't dismiss other people's ways of interpreting
shithead.
religion like that."
Yeah.
Wow.
See, that's the thing is like they thought they were right and they thought
Yeah,
you were
because
wrong.
you're at least not doing that.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, when the pandemic was happening and you lived in
I was.
Connecticut,
I went down
and
a
you
little
came
fucking
and
rabbit
visited
hole.
us.
Yeah.
You had me
Holy
worried,
shit,
man.
dude!
No, I
you
was-
were
yeah.
fucking insane,
Bro, all I
man.
was doing is watching the X Files, smoking weed, and hopping on r/conspiracy and playing fucking Skyrim in the meantime. That shit made me nutty. Cause like I'm questioning like there's I don't know, I still have so many questions about COVID, but like then I started looking into fucking like they're like, oh well, because of this, that points to like the JFK
You go
assassination.
looking
and then,
for speculative bullshit online, you will find
will find it,
speculative
yeah.
bullshit
Well, yeah,
online.
and-
So like it's not surprising that when you went looking, you found people going, "Oh, this raises questions about this, and does this link in?"
Yeah,
That's the thing, like that ultimately I think pulled me out of it is that like one point someone made the argument to me. They were like, why do you keep connecting all of these dots as if they're all like one like
Puppet
thing happen.
master.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When they're just like they could just be like a random, instance, and
Or
then that
like
made me,
capitalism, right?
Yeah,
like greed
capitalism
and
explains a
capitalism
lot.
causes a lot.
Yeah.
And so like it's
It's not like
yeah.
some shadow government.
No, I
doing
think you
it.
just
It's
have a lot of different greedy puppet masters.
Yeah, and I know one thing I saw. I think it was a Kurtzagot in a nutshell, or however you pronounce that.
Yeah, that guy. I think he
YouTube
got it.
channel. He made an amazing video on conspiracy theories, and he was pretty much like the number one way to disprove if a conspiracy theory is false is, does it affect rich people and like famous people? And if it does, then it probably like isn't true. So like the chemtrails shit, right? Like chemtrails would be affecting rich and famous people, right? Like
Well, no, because the argument there is like they don't do it everywhere; they do it in specific places.
Yeah, but air will expand to fill up the space
Right,
around
right.
it.
But,
Like,
like, I could-
pollution in China eventually makes its way to like everywhere, evenly dispersed over
True.
time.
Chemtrails are like that's one of the ones like I'm not saying anything about chemtrails. I'm saying that like you can see like
well, because
there's
this-
trails in the sky, right? Like there's planes that leave trails in the sky and are
and
dispersing.
sometimes those are chemicals
Or
for
exactly,
like plants
exactly.
or fertilizer.
The thing that I question on that is I think I see them too much. I'm like, I'll look at the sky and I'll be like, that kind of looks sketch. And I'll look at the sky and I'm like, so if it's not a chemtrail, it should disperse, but it stays there. And I just assume in that case, like there's some sort of
What's your
gas
basis for
physics.
thinking it should disperse?
That's how I thought. Like if it was like the actual like visibility of it, like like because you see like a normal plane going by, just flowing by, and it's going to displace like two twins of air, and then that air just over time just disperses, it goes away. But then you see like when like farmers use chemtrails, like they go over, and then those clouds they don't really go away over, like they take longer to dissipate, and they also do it in like a more like you can see them spread out. So like I see that and I just assume like I don't think really anyone's going out there poisoning people, because then it would poison themselves.
And what does
but
that accomplish?
I think they're just probably growing corn or some shit, to be honest
like
with you.
and that.
But then I don't think those chemicals are really good for humans, so I don't want to be there, which is why I'm not. But like
we were because the
sorry, and I totally like cut you off there.
No,
You were
no.
talking about like a bigger like if it affects
oh no,
rich
yeah,
people.
that was like the only rule. Or
That's a
whatever.
really
That was
good
the big-
point
that
though,
was the
because rich
bigger
people
rule, yeah.
control a lot, and if it affects them, then they wouldn't.
Yeah,
want
or
that.
like the hiding a cure for cancer, right? Like if there is a secret cure for cancer that we found right now, why are there still really rich people dying
dying
of
of
cancer?
cancer. Maybe they
There
just
would be
didn't have
no
enough
rich
money.
people dying of cancer, right? Like
Maybe they didn't
you know.
have enough money. I don't know.
I mean,
But see,
also
then you
there's
gotta
like
think of,
the biggest thing for disproving a lot of conspiracies for me is just how difficult it is to organize people and do shit. Once you get down to
Yeah.
brass tacks, like I've been doing
Absolutely.
an engineering degree, and that shit has made me realize it's really difficult to do a lot of things that
With-
people think
yeah.
is just incredibly easy. Like
group
I don't know,
projects, getting
the
people
AI
together.
and robot shit. Like that would need to be such an advanced and complicated system. I just don't think that people would do it. Or if there was a group that had the resources to do shit like that, they wouldn't be wasting it on, I don't know, something like
Stupid
making a
shit like
robot
that. Yeah, for
Biden.
Joe
If you
Biden,
can
yeah.
make like simulacrum, whatever,
Simulacrum? I
yeah,
don't know if
that
that's
word.
What's that word?
AI that's so good, you
Simulacrum?
basically
I don't
can't
know.
tell the difference between it and a person. I feel like you'd use that for bigger things. Like it requires such a level of competence to execute a lot of these conspiracies.
I'm not like I definitely agree with you on that. Like the more people, and I look at it like this: the more people you put on something, the more likely that they are to talk, and
Disprove
B,
it, yeah.
and then it is also harder to get a group of people to do shit. But like there are counterpoints to that, like NASA or like the CIA, like they work together as like you have different units of within teams that like they don't say shit, like they go on a mission and they kill someone and they don't talk, so like I'm not saying it's likely. I'm saying it is like it is
But
non-zero
instead
chance
of like
though.
a one-off mission in a village in a country that doesn't have internet, it's
Whose
a
hair is
large
this?
scale thing. Probably mine. Is it long?
No, this is like blonde,
There's been a lot of people on this couch. We're
but
in
it
a
was
studio.
on me.
Well, you're on a couch.
Yeah.
Well, what if it was an alien?
Yeah, the aliens might have
And,
fucking.
you know,
See, I would
that
actually
on
use this
They're-
instead of to prove aliens. I would prove simulation theory because this wasn't. I don't think this was on me 30 minutes ago. Like,
But
I
you're
feel like
sitting
it
on
would've-
something in which like 50, I can confirm to you,
Why,
50
why is it
people.
weird that a hair would be on you? Like, why could there not just be
I
a
was
hair
using that
on
was
you?
a stretch. I'm not going to use the hair to prove simulation theory. The one example I have about that I don't really believe it. It was just interesting. So there was one time I was looking for a lighter, like a white lighter that I know I just had, and I put it on the coffee table in front of me, and it disappeared. I stood up looking for it for 15 minutes, shaking blankets, going in the crevices of the couch, underneath everything, looking around the entire room, couldn't find the fucking lighter. Looking at the coffee table, staring at it, thinking I was just missing it, couldn't find it. Finally, I get another lighter, I sit down, I look at the coffee table, it's right there. It's right there. And I'm like, are you serious? No, I would have seen that. I would have known.
You could have just also missed
It. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing there is I could have
Yeah.
just not seen it.
I was going to say one of the things that I remembered going back to the whole argument, not argument, but when you were talking about the civilizations beforehand or whatever, because we had, tried to film an episode before this kind of like as a practice episode, the other day, and we were talking about magic on it a lot. And I remember your answer to, or your hypothetical what if answer to what happened is you thought that potentially there were magic people that like were just straight up from like
Magic,
Avatar:
yeah.
The Last Airbender.
Magic. They had some sort of there was some sort of chemical in the earth that fucking fucked with people's. I don't know who the fuck knows, but yeah, there was magic. Because it's then you there's a lot of things I know you can kind of explain the pyramids you're all right, yeah, you put a lot of slaves on that
Slaves,
shit,
yeah.
they're gonna do it. But there's a lot of there's rocks in Europe that are heavy motherfucking rocks, and there's just a lot of them, and you're why?
Oh, Dan's about to go
I
off.
know.
Simple tools and manual
Wheels.
labor are so effective. You put a log pile on, and all of a sudden, instead of pushing against static friction, you're pushing against rolling friction.
Right.
Or it's a different type of friction, but it's significantly easier. You have animals. You have so many ways. And ancient people, they weren't fucking stupid. They weren't educated at all, but they were really clever a lot. And there was a lot of really clever innovations, which were, just lost
Like
to
the
time because
wheel.
the person who...
Yeah, the wheel is a very useful.
that's
invention.
technology.
True,
Like-
true. I'm not gonna dissuade that. It's just train of thought, because it ties into my old Earth theory. If the Earth is really as old as I think it is, fucking who knows?
I
Magic
just
could have
think
been a
we're
thing and
not
it got wiped
special.
out.
It was probably just animals and other
I think see,
dinosaurs.
okay.
And why do they have to be people?
that's a really good. I like that statement you just made about we're not special. I have been thinking about that for a lot because I think that ties into aliens, right? Because I saw this on a podcast somewhere. It was if aliens are real, then it means it means a lot of different things, right? But if they're not, then that means what we have here on Earth is very special.
Yeah.
The observance of the universe, and is what we really are.
Yeah, and that gives more credibility to honestly religion and shit like that as well. If people
Yeah,
are
yeah, it
because
does.
then we are the
I could
1% of
just
the
see
universe.
it as being life as a process will only arise under a very, very specific set of circumstances where
Yeah.
even on a universal scale, you'll have 1, 2, or 3 instances of it. There are rates or reactions that are rare enough, which
Yeah,
the
yeah,
reaction
yeah.
that made life initially could have been that rare,
Yeah.
where it just wasn't going to happen in most of the universe, and it happened to happen in our little corner of the universe.
Well, the universe is fucking big.
Yeah, but you can have
So-
stuff that's 10 to the negative 34 chance of happening, really, really
Yeah.
low.
And over an infinite amount of time, it will happen.
Yeah.
yeah, but there's only so many habitable planets on the universe.
See-
So it's not weird that if it did happen and we're here to observe it, if it's a really rare reaction, we might be the only observers in this run of the universe.
I think because the more we discover, and our telescopes get better, we've discovered planets that are habitable, they look like Earth from an outside point of view, and it's that kind of makes me believe that life is out there, not necessarily traveling UFO
Well,
aliens.
there is provable life on other planets,
but to
but
our
not-
extent,
not-
no,
yeah,
Really,
to
like
the extent,
microbes
no, no.
and shit? Is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they
I
found
think even on
microbes on Mars. Yeah,
right?
they found
Yeah,
microbes.
Mars.
really?
Bernie, can you look this up?
Is there? I'm pretty sure there's. I'm
there
sure
life
we
on
we'll
Mars?
probably need to.
Are
wrap
you
this
sure that
episode
wasn't
anyways.
microbes that got brought over by a Land Rover, or is it genuine?
I
No,
think
no,
they
no.
were,
They found
in
them in the frozen
ice.
lake. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's there's a lot of frozen water on Mars.
Yeah.
Mars is also an interesting question too, because Mars is really old too. Like, and there's water on it. And it's close. That's
Okay,
it. That's all I got.
But
'Cause,
you said
there's
facts.
there's
and
more.
then-
There's more theories, and I don't know them. I've forgotten them, but there's more theories as to why like there could have been life on Mars a while
There
ago.
is evidence that there is fossilized,
fossilized.
microscopic life.
Okay. Which once again, that's evidence.
life,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's
But to
So-
like to the extent of like they can come and travel to us, you know?
yeah.
Or, like,
Intelligent
yeah.
life is a lot different because there's the whole thing of like if aliens exist, right? Or there's like a couple theories, right? It's like a list of like 4 or 5. Either aliens don't exist, we're unique, whoop-de-doo. Either we're alone in thinking that or we're special.
Yeah.
Or aliens, like intelligent life has existed and then they died off, as will happen with most of us. We're
Yeah.
trying to kill ourselves off with
Yep.
fucking
As
global
we
warming and
speak.
everything. Yeah.
As
I
we
mean, there are
speak.
chemical spills every single fucking day.
Sketch.
These trains, so they have come and gone and they are in the past.
Yeah.
Or they are so we are so insignificant to them. Why are they going to come visit like an anthill? Oh,
See,
there's like
I look
there's
at that.
little cute little earthlings.
I love explaining that theory because because to me it'd be conservationalism, right? If they're like, oh, life is really rare, and to have it to this extent, it's a rare thing.
But you're like
I could see aliens being like, oh, we should try and preserve like the dodo birds. Like right before the last dodo bird came, they fucking came and yeeted that shit and like, all right, this thing is special because it's rare.
All right, but like you're putting human morality and like the way that humans think
Yeah,
onto,
yeah.
Onto an alien. Yeah,
an
yeah,
alien.
yeah.
They could have completely different values.
True.
They could.
True.
Yeah. So there's just a
Absolutely.
couple different things, but yeah.
But the reason I ration that is because like life to me, like I guess we rationalize life as value, right? So if life has value to some aliens, then you could explain that.
Yeah, but that could be a human concept, right? I mean,
True.
like most other animals, I don't think are understanding the concept of life. I mean, then I don't really know about all that. I
You know, in an abstract way, you could look at like all of human history as a long-running chemical reaction to make those like lab experiment only. What do you call it? Elements. The
like the
ones
ones
that
you
are at
can't
like
make
the
out of
very
nature.
end
Yeah.
of yeah.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah,
the ones that
maybe
you can't
humans
find
are
in
just a
nature.
really long-running chemical reaction for exactly that.
God is just trying
Yeah.
to like expand the periodic table to the maximum capacity.
I
Just like
always-
fuck it, let's see how far we can get this.
I always love the this saying. This is more of like a hippie saying or whatever, but it's like the humans are just like the universe's way to like look at itself.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's the way I really, because it's true.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
our cognizance of the universe as we know it, like we are from the universe.
Yeah,
We are the
like
universe.
we are the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that I think we talked about a lot in
Man,
our drugs
mushrooms are
episode.
great.
Mushrooms, yeah.
Mushrooms are
Mushrooms,
great.
old as shit as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, Earth is old, or is it? I don't know.
I guess it's like my question is it older than we think it is?
Probably
Yeah, because you're
not.
not
'Cause it's
one of
old.
those. You're not one of those people that are thinking it's like 5,000 years
No.
old. You're just
We
like,
literally-
nah, man.
no,
There
no.
were Avatar people riding on the backs of dinos.
I call
spitting
bullshit on
magic.
that because
I
if
believe-
Avatar people were real, I would be an earthbender. There's no way.
No, we're not
I
talking
would
about
not
those
be an
Avatar. We're talking
earthbender.
about, oh, are we talking? I was thinking about the blue people.
Oh, every time I keep saying that,
every
'cause you kept
time-
talking about
that's
fire
what I was
bending
thinking
and,
about,
like,
yeah.
doing the elements.
No, I was really, I don't really, I don't know, maybe, but like I was really talking about the blue people.
The fact it's still within
Why
his
is the
realm of
blue people more
possibility.
credible?
The blue people
than
is more
fucking-
credible than like the Christianity's theory. I think it's more credible than, yeah, that's really it. I think blue people are more
Okay,
credible.
blue people
credible than,
are credible. What a way to end
You
the
gotta hear.
episode. Okay, if you're blue, congratulations.
You're blue?
Red will like you. I'm wearing blue. I'm pretending to be a blue person.
I like
Yeah.
Aw.
We don't like you. So if you're wearing blue, you guys are pretty dope. If you're watching or listening to this, you're also pretty dope. If you're wearing blue and doing the things, then
We love you.
Is it a double negative, or do we love you
if
No,
you're
I love
blue-
you twice. It's
no, no.
like squared.
Okay.
If you're blue and you're watching this, we got to give you a special kiss. Come on, y'all. We got to end it
Okay.
with a kiss.
All right.
I gave multiple.
I
Yeah.
gave a long, seductive one.
Yeah, that was steamy. Can we air that? Is that gonna get past the censors?
If you see this, you're special.